What's up, Dub Nation? Hello, YouTubers. And I was pouring through the post game from Minnesota and stumbled upon a life lesson. And I just thought I would share that with you. Now, Steve Kerr, one thing that gets lost about him is that he's giving us life lessons all the time that are basically passed down from Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich and possibly, even John Wooden before those guys. But by the time Steve is teaching us these things, they've been molded and fit the sign of the times. And I just thought one thing here that you'll see is that he's just super positive all the time, and exudes that and brings that to his team. And that's the best way for his team to improve. Now, there is an issue on the team right now as of the buzzer sounding in Minnesota that the Warriors are lacking connectivity. So it's in the context of regaining this connectivity. But when you hear him talk here, and I'm going to splice this out, you're going to hear him just infuse positivity on his own team. And then it'll get into the longer compilation of Steph Curry, Steve, even Andrew Wiggins. And you can see the positivity gets adopted by Wiggs even, and that even gives me confidence that Wiggs is a good fit for our culture. And I'm confident that Wiggs will re-sign with the Warriors, although there's still a lot of time between now and then. So I just want to show you how a lot of this stuff from Steve trickles down and it becomes a foundation and the backdrop for a lot of things that happen with the Warriors. And you might see this in a couple summers if Wiggins signs with the Warriors again. But you certainly see this all the time with Steph. So without further ado, here's the splice, and then Steph, Steve, Wiggs, and even Gary Payton.
I have no doubt that we will get reconnected because we've got great people on our team and we've got a great culture and we've established something here that has been a foundation.
So, how do you apply this to your own life? Well, first of all, hopefully you have been brought up well in society and maybe you have a good network of friends. But if something happens to you, maybe your boss is mad at you, or you're having relationship problems, or you made some kind of big mistake, or whatever the case may be, just remember that you're a good person, you have good intentions, and you have great people around you, and that you've built a foundation of being a good person. And so I believe what we heard from Steve is directly applicable to the adversity that you're going to face in life. So I hope that helps you in some way. And if not, get some reinforcement right here from Steph as he reminds you to stay patient at the end of his interview.
Obviously, Draymond would solve some of your guys' current issues, but what are the issues right now that are separate from Draymond's absence that kind of concern you the most?
Um, I think really it's just consistency and focus, and I say IQ and just understanding how certain teams are trying to execute against us and what we can do. I'm talking about mostly defensively, what we can do to kind of counter that. And we have a lot of different rotations and lineups, and we're trying to make adjustments on the fly, but we have to. I think Coach said be more connected, but just be more in sync as a 5-man unit, whoever's out there. We realize how hard it is to win in this league. We say that a lot because I feel like guys have been around know what it takes, but nights like tonight where you just don't play a good brand of basketball defensively to give yourself a chance to win on the road against a team that you allowed to have life the whole night. Like, you're not going to win a lot of games that way.
With connectivity or being more connected, I mean, we're talking about issues outside of just Draymond's absence, but how does just having him around this team, or maybe not having him around this team, affect or impact the connectiveness? Like, not even just,
I mean, myself, Andre, Draymond, Clay, we've all been around playoff series, championship runs, so we all know what that feels like, what the level that you have to be at every night. So we have another guy that can share that perspective, I'll say. But it's also like, what he brings on the court is another level of confidence. It's also Clay's been in and out the lineup, Andre's been out the lineup, and we've had just a lot of just shuffling going on. It's not an excuse because I have a plan, but it's also like the balance of developing our young guys and understanding the opportunity that they have to be able to see that night in, night out. Like it worked in the first half of the season. It hasn't been there as consistently with our guys out. So, again, not an excuse on how we're playing, but we are built as a full team. And until we get that, I don't know if we'll see our full ceiling, but we have to do the little things in the meantime to, keep building confidence. Right now, we're not doing it.
but not with Draymond, not even being around the team very much because of his injury and rehabbing separately. I mean, how Steve said that he's going to be joining you guys in Dallas. How important is it just to have him in the room with you?
It's huge. Like I said, we're all built in terms of like that trust and chemistry and knowing each other, and having a guy like him who's very vocal, high IQ, has a certain approach of leadership, like all that stuff. It matters. So that's why I was trying to stay patient in terms of where we are in the season.
Draymond is obviously an answer that talent problem potentially and a lot of your other issues. What are the issues right now that you feel like are not Draymond's absence related that concern you the most?
Well, I actually liked the way we played, against Dallas the other night. Obviously, other than that 8-minute stretch, played with a lot of spirit, a lot of energy. Our defense was really good. Same thing in Portland. I thought our game against Denver before the break the process was really good. The energy was good. Tonight was the first time I sensed that there was a breakdown in our connection, and that has to be an exception rather than a rule. So that's the most important thing for me looking ahead to Dallas and the rest of this trip is our guys need to be connected, and there's just got to be one goal, and that's to play together and to win the game. And we can't get frayed. I thought we got a little bit frayed tonight.
Where do you see that? Is that on defensive breakdowns, or where do you see the word?
I think all over the place. It's more of an intangible than a tangible. It's not a strategic thing as much as it is just a feeling and an energy, a collective spirit. I didn't like the energy and the spirit tonight.
How can the team build more of a connection moving forward?
That's what being on a team is all about. That's what my job and the staff's job is about. And I have no doubt that we will get reconnected because we've got great people on our team, and we've got a great culture, and we've established something here that has been a foundation. And Steph sets an amazing tone, and so this was, like I said, the exception rather than the rule. So we'll bounce back.
You mentioned Draymond being there. Do you need him around more?
Yes.
when we talk about being shorthanded, we talked a little bit about it before the game in terms of just Jordan sticking in the second unit, and then Moses is out the second half, and Otto has to go in. How much does that, yes, impact the starting lineup, but also just the bench and connectivity as you're talking about in the rapport that they can build together?
How much did what affect?
Like when you're having such a revolving lineup, particularly with the bench unit, how does that impact the connectivity or just the rhythm that they can build together?
That's the rhythm can be impacted by the changing lineups and the personnel being out, but not the connection. The connection is, like I said, it's an intangible. It's just it's a spirit. It's an energy. You feel it, and like I said, this is the exception. I've felt great about our team all year, but we just have to make sure we, when we have a night like tonight where we get a little bit scattered, we got to return to home base and remember what the goal is.
Almost came out while it was happening.
What's up, Andrew?
Was
Coach Kerr said that he feels right now that there's a lack of connectivity within the team right now. There's a certain lack of spirit and energy that's just missing right now. Is that something you sense?
yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it. We all just need to want same thing. That's all that is. We'll figure it out. We're a good team. That's what good teams do. We're in a little funk right now, but sure we'll break through soon.
You said that regarding the connectivity, that it's something that's intangible. Do you think it's intangible, or there's some tangible thing that sort of contributes to that?
I just think we need to all get the same page. That's it. That's what it comes down to. We got the talent. As long as we all just have the same goals and lock in, and we'll be back to normal.
How much do you think this kind of influx lineup rotation of available players has impacted or just played into maybe a little bit of not being on the same page?
Yeah. I mean, feel like it shouldn't matter too much. I feel like every team goes through it. Players are playing, players that aren't playing. I guess the main thing you can do is just focus on the players that's here and available. We all practice. We all want the same thing. I just feel like we need to want it more.
That's it. Cool. Thank you. We'll have a couple more in here.
I feel like it's the biggest defensive issues tonight.
Just think it stops. Yeah. We don't bring energy and effort, teams get comfortable and get to do whatever they want, and then it's hard to slow guys down once you get them going. So we just got to come out ready to play from jump.
You mentioned energy effort. Obviously, it's post break. There was an expectation maybe that wouldn't return. Why it hasn't been there?
Like I said, it's just they're willing to sit down and lock in and get it done. We just think it stops. They converted, stops and points, and we didn't slow it down.
What needs to be done to change that?
We just got a lot of different lineups, and we just got to work with those lineups and learn how to play through each other with different personnel on the court, and that's about it. Just fight our field back to where we were in the beginning of the season. I know it's hard without Draymond and Iggy, but we got to step up and turn around.
Not necessarily from a X's and O's standpoint. What needs to change from energy and effort? How you guys think about that?
It's our job. We're supposed to bring that every day, and we need to start bringing that every day from the jump. So, Thanks, guys.
Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors.